What's poppin', YouTube? What's up, beautiful people? I'm gonna drop a note. Say, feel free to drop any questions or comments you have about scholarships in the chat. Okay, what's going on? Let me check my audio, then I'm gonna hop on IG and go live on IG. Give me 1 second. Checking. Okay, we're good. So let's go live on Instagram. What's up, Instagram? What's poppin', IG? I hope all is well. Happy Mother's Day to YouTube and Instagram. Let me type the topic of today's chat. What's going on? Design for Logic. The strength of a mother. That's the title of today's conversation. Before we, what's up, Keely? Hey, I need some.
What?
I need some. That's crazy.
Shocked.
I know.
Clutch the pearls.
My sister said clutch the pearls. The strength of a mother. That is the topic of today's conversation. Let me pin it. I'm going to pin it. To all the mothers, I hope you're having a wonderful day celebrating Mother's Day. Fantastic. Today is an awesome day. Unfortunately, many children and their mothers can't be together physically, but that doesn't stop the celebration or the opportunity to embrace the love and the endless support of a mother. To all the mothers, I hope you do take some time to relax today. You don't work too hard. That's a special shout to Anik. Don't work too hard. What's up, Eric? I'm not going to call you. I'm going to call you Eric. What's up, Eric? Thanks for joining. I'm going to leave a comment. What's up, Jacayla? I'm going to leave a comment. Say happy Mother's Day to everyone in the chat. As always, feel free to drop any questions you have about scholarships in the chat. I'm more than happy to address them. To my mother, I want to say happy Mother's Day. I love you, mommy. I miss you. I wish I could hug you and kiss you right now, but I'm trying to help you not get the Rona. Okay. Trying to keep both of us safe. To my grandmother, my aunties, everyone, I love y'all. Happy Mother's Day. It's a little bit different, but still embrace it. Enjoy it. Today we're going to talk about the strength of a mother in a special way. And we're going to apply it to scholarships. As always, if you're not familiar with what happens every single Sunday, on Sundays at 3:00 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, I go live on Dope for Degrees YouTube channel to answer any questions you have about scholarships. It's known as Dope for Degrees Community Scholarship Chat. We started it in July of 2019, July 21st to be exact, and we've gone live every single Sunday at 3:00 p.m. Eastern Standard Time since then. So we're approaching a year doing this through Dope for Degrees. What is Dope for Degrees? Dope for Degrees is a scholarship coaching company where I teach students how to earn scholarships to go to college and graduate debt-free. Who am I? I keep saying I. My name is Danielle Jeffers. I'm the founder of Dope for Degrees, LLC. Oh, do we have audio on YouTube?
Yeah, I hear you on both.
Okay, because it's not showing me any signals on YouTube. Nice. But who am I? I am Danielle Jeffers. I'm the founder of Dope for Degrees, LLC. I graduated debt-free from Virginia Tech in 2019, having earned more than $200,000 in scholarships. I never took out a student loan while I was in college. I never had to pay back a student loan. I've never had to do that. I earned more than enough scholarships to go to college and graduate debt-free. What did $200,000 plus in scholarships allow me to do? Well, my education cost me approximately $120,000. So that means I won an abundance of about $70,000 to $80,000 in scholarships. When you look at some of the scholarships they took away from me because I had too much, but the ones that I was able to keep. When you win an abundance of scholarships, they often allow you to receive a refund check. It could be a direct deposit. It could be a check in the mail. It could be many different ways. And what you do with that refund check is up to you, because now that's cash that you can use. I use my refund check to pay for my additional expenses outside of school. For those who are going to college, please remember, you will go to school. You'll pay the sticker price to take your classes. You will pay to park on campus. You will pay to eat the food, which is known as board. When they say room and board, those are two separate things. Room is your housing on campus. Board is the amount you pay to eat on campus. You will also pay to have access to the gym, the library, all these different things. But then there are some fees that aren't included in that sticker price, like that $100 winter coat you need to stay warm during the winter, or those boots you need, or that textbook you need, that science textbook that could cost $200. Or on top of that, the ramen you might be eating every week to save money, or for a late night snack, the money you need to get your hair done, the money you need to put gas in your car, the money you want to have when you go out with your friends on Friday. All that money isn't always calculated into the sticker price because it varies for every student. And so I use my refund checks to cover that. And I also studied abroad in 2018. I went to Switzerland for 2 weeks to finish up 2 of the courses required to earn my degree in communication. Then I stayed in Italy a week after and just enjoyed and had fun. My uncle met me in Rome, and we spent some time in Rome together. And so my biggest advice to you, for those of you who are watching, is to make sure you knock out some scholarship applications while you are on break, while you're still in school, while you're at home, you have more time because of the coronavirus. You should be applying for scholarships whenever you can. The scholarship application window, I often hear people ask me, when do scholarships close? They never close. Scholarships open and close every single day. They open every day of the year. When's the earliest you could win a scholarship? You can win a scholarship as early as middle school. You can literally be a 6th grader stacking your coins to win a scholarship. What happens if you win a scholarship before your senior year of high school and you don't know where you're going to college? Well, what typically happens is the scholarship provider holds the scholarship in your name. That means they keep the check for you. And then when it's time for you to go to college, you show proof of enrollment or proof of intention to enroll in that school, and they will mail the scholarship to the respective university on your behalf. So let's tie all of that back into the topic of today's conversation, the strength of a mother. What does it look like? Well, once again, happy Mother's Day to everyone. My mother played a critical part in my scholarship success. And I hope my mommy's watching because I'm getting ready to brag on you for a few minutes. My mom stepped up in so many ways to help me win scholarships that it's hard to articulate. One thing my mother did, and this is something I encourage all parents, students, families to do. My mother had a blue binder she kept in her room. I had access to it. She had a blue binder, and inside of that blue binder is about 3 inches thick. She would often keep my certificates, my awards. She would clip out articles of me in the newspaper, and put them all in this blue binder. But in addition to that, I think it was my sophomore year of high school, she would clip out this award in the newspaper. I'm from Danville, Virginia, which is in South Central Virginia. It's right on the border of North Carolina. She would clip out the scholarship recipients that were announced in the newspaper and put it in the binder. And she would say, hey, we're just going to organize all this. And when your senior year of high school comes, maybe you can apply for some of these scholarships. And so what ended up happening is my mother did that from my sophomore, junior, and senior year of high school. And by the time it was my senior year, I had at least like 15 to 20 different scholarships that she had clipped out of the newspaper that I was able to go back and look for those scholarships to see if they were still available when it was my turn to apply for them. And so I say that to say, oftentimes, being proactive puts you in a better position to be successful. The more proactive you are in your approach to scholarship success and paying for college, the better off your experience will be. If you're reactive, if you're waiting till you get the e-bill to find out how much you owe, you're going to be put in a bind. Because to be honest with you, many students and families are in that situation right now. They don't know, but by June, maybe July, maybe even August, you're going to get an e-bill. What is an e-bill? An e-bill is an electronic bill. Many colleges and universities serve tens of thousands of students in minutes. So they don't have time to mail out your payment due or your statement balance. They don't have time to mail that out. That takes too long. So they send it to your email. They say, you owe us $17,000, $20,000. You owe us $17,000, $20,000, what have you, to enroll in our respective university for the fall 2020 semester. And what many students will find out in the coming months is you'll be looking at that e-bill and say, hey, I want to go to college, but where is this $17,000 going to come from? I don't have $17,000. So what am I supposed to do? You have 2 weeks to come up with $17,000. So if you submitted your FAFSA, which is the free application for federal student aid, which is a federal government document, it's an online document you submit with proof of your tax reports, or the fact that you completed your taxes. The household income is calculated from the parent's income as well as the student's income and anyone else in the household. And by those numbers, the federal government uses those numbers to assess how much financial aid they can offer you to help you pay for college. They may offer you grants, work study, loans. They can offer you a variety of different things. But the big fact about it is if you're in that bind, you can only take out so many loans from the federal government. The federal government loans are better than these private loans. Why? Because the interest rates are lower and the government may end up paying the interest on your loan while you're in school. That's known as a subsidized student loan. An unsubsidized student loan is when the government doesn't pay the interest while you're in school. All right. So how can you be proactive right now to win the money you need to go to college and graduate debt free? Well, let's put it into perspective. When you apply for a scholarship, oftentimes it takes 2 to 3 months to hear back from a scholarship to see if you won. And so hypothetically, no, this is real. Virginia Tech's fall 2020 e-bill is due August 10th, 2020. August 10th, 2020. Today is May 10th. So you have June, July, August. You have 3 months to come up with, let's say, $25,000. How are you going to come up with $25,000 before the next 3 months? You got to have the strength of a mother. What does that mean? Here are 3 key factors to winning the money you need to go to college and graduate debt free. Now, I'm going to be honest with you and straightforward. It is possible to win that much money to go to college and graduate debt free, but it is going to require that you hustle. You have to hustle to get that money. You have to grind. You have to commit to the process. You have to hustle. I've been there. I had to come up with one time in my college career, I had to come up with $10,000 in a matter of 3 months to finish out the semester without having to take out a student loan, because I decided I didn't want to apply for scholarships. And so I was just going to hope the money fell out the sky. And they sent me a bill or sent me an email and said, hey, you can either do the payment plan, or you can drop out of classes for the fall 2017 semester. And I was like, well, I can't afford to drop out, so I'm going to do this payment plan. So what happened for me to even go further back in my journey, I ended up winning $100,000 in scholarships in 5 months as a high school senior. What did that look like? I woke up every single morning at 5 o'clock in the morning to apply for scholarships. I went to school, had to go to school by 7:45, knocked out school, was done by 3, had to run a couple errands for my family, had a little bit of fun at the Boys and Girls Club. I did, what's up? I did some after school activities, did my homework. Then I was back on the scholarship grind, went to sleep at midnight, woke back up at 5 o'clock a.m. and did the same thing over and over and over again. I did that every single day for 5 months straight, even on the weekends, to win $100,000 plus in scholarships in 5 months. So is it possible to win $25,000 in scholarships in 3 months? Yes, it is. It's possible. You just got to be ready to work. And sometimes that level of work, that level of commitment often requires you to have a no nonsense policy in your life, or a no tolerance policy. I don't have time to waste on social media. I don't have time to waste on the phone. I don't have time to waste playing video games. I have to get this money. Because if you don't get the money, you will be taking out those student loans, the federal loans that have lower interest rates, and then you'll be taking out private loans that have higher interest rates, and oftentimes the interest accrues while you're in school. Okay? So here are the 3 factors you need to have the strength of a mother when you're doing the scholarship process. Number 1, be strong. Okay? Number 1, I think my sister, you typed in the chat. Okay, let me flip my camera back, y'all. Oh, gosh. Okay. Number 1, be strong. The strength of a mother, here are the 3 characteristics. Be strong. Why do I say be strong? Strength is not defined by your physical strength. Well, you could assess your physical strength and say, hey, I have muscles. Hey, I have a 2% body fat percentage, what have you. Then that's a sign of physical strength. But oftentimes life will throw tests at you that requires you to have a level of mental strength and emotional strength to get through them. And if you don't have the mental or emotional strength to push through life's hardest obstacles, you will continue to fail. You will continue to fall flat on your face because you haven't developed that skill set. And so for those of you who work out, for those of you who used to go to the gym, because you can't go to the gym right now unless you have a gym in your house. For those of you who used to go to the gym, it's great to work out your physical muscles. But if you never work out your mental muscles, your heart muscle, your emotional muscle, your ability to persevere when things get tough, you will only win certain battles. And with scholarships, it's more of a mental test than it is anything else. So be strong. So when I say be strong, we think about weights. We think about lifting weights. A strong person, you would say someone who could bench 450 pounds is stronger than someone who could only bench 150. You will most likely say that. I look at that in the scholarship sense and I say, for those of you who can submit 3 scholarship applications per week in excellence, you're stronger than those who are barely submitting 1 a week. Why? Because you can push more weight. You can push forward more weight. You can hold more weight. If you're trying to get $25,000 in 3 months, you're going to have to be strong. You're going to have to be willing to hold more weight, to push more weight up and down. Every week you're submitting 3 scholarships. To be honest with you, if you're up against that type of deadline, I strongly encourage you to submit at least 5 scholarships a week. Knock out at least 5 scholarship applications per week, because you won't win every single scholarship you apply for. You won't win every scholarship you apply for. I applied for more than 120 scholarships and only won 42 of them. That means I had more no's. I received more no's than I received yeses. I didn't get a lot of, not many people told me yes. More people told me no than they told me yes. But I had to be strong and keep going. That goes into my second point, y'all. Be resilient. There's a difference between strength and resilience. It's often said in the Black community that you have the strong Black woman. The strong Black woman. Okay, I get it. Some people say that. I prefer to say there's a resilient Black woman. What does it look like to be resilient? That means you do not quit. Quitting is not an option. Throwing in the towel is not an option. Calling the game quits early is not an option. You are guaranteed, you're committed to fight until the end. You're not going to throw in the towel. When things get tough, it's just a sign that you have to be strong and keep going. So number 2, be resilient. That's the strength of a mother. Let's think about a mother. A mother often has many responsibilities. Taking care of herself, taking care of her household, taking care of her husband if she has one, taking care of her significant other, helping other people in her family, being a support system for her co-workers, for those she loves. She has to be strong. She has a lot going on. So being weak is not an option. But she also has to be resilient, because if she's raising children, if she's taking care of her household, if she's taking care of her husband, failure is not an option either, because not only if she fails, other people suffer too. When's the last time you've heard someone, especially a woman who's a mother, tell you that they quit? When's the last time you heard a mother tell you they threw in the towel? I'm not saying it's never happened before, but for me personally, I don't hear the women in my life, the mothers in my life, they don't tell me that. They always tell me, figure it out.
I know that's right.
Quitting is not an option. Figure it out. We don't throw in the towel. And so it really takes the strength of a mother to bear the load when you're applying for scholarships. I'm going to tie back to this too. Oftentimes a mother, my mom, she used to always tell me, the love between a mother and a daughter is forever. I'll say again, the love between a mother and a daughter is forever. My mom always says that. She gave me this like picture of a big teddy bear and a little teddy bear, and it was framed in pink, and I had it in my wall in the house I grew up in. It was up there forever. The love between a mother and a daughter is forever. Oftentimes, it's the love a mother has for their child that allows them to be resilient. It pushes them to be resilient. It pushes them to be strong, because the last thing they want to do is disappoint their child or see their child fail, because they care so much about them. And so you have to put that into perspective and say for yourself, the last thing I want to do is disappoint myself because I quit or I gave in, or I said I got tired of doing scholarships, or I allowed my feelings to get in the way of my success. Your feelings aren't a good indicator or metric of how you should operate. When you're applying for scholarships, you won't always feel like doing the work. You won't always feel like doing the research or looking them up. But you have to remember, why are you graduating debt free? Why are you doing this? Because if you feel like giving up, if you give up every time you feel like giving up, you'll never see success. But if you make logical decisions and use logic to make better decisions, you'll be in a better place. For me personally, I will say this, and I've said this often. I'm getting ready to upload a video on YouTube today, where it's one of the most transparent videos you'll see on my YouTube channel to date. I went live on Instagram with my good friend Corey Hackett Green last week, and we did a live. And I've been sitting on this video for about a week, or probably half a week, because I didn't know if I wanted to upload it, because I said some real transparent and honest stuff in that Instagram live that I don't know if I want on YouTube, because that means it's going to live forever. I could go live on Instagram. If no one screen records it but me, it disappears in 24 hours. But if I put it on YouTube, it's going to live forever. And so I'll put it up there. I'm going to put it up there as an example of what it looks like to be strong when you're trying to win scholarships to go to college and graduate debt free. In fall 2017, I had a lot of things going on. I lost my grandmother. I was recovering from ACL surgery. My mother was sick. There was some issues going on in my family. Had a lot of things going on, and I still had to apply for scholarships to graduate debt free. And on top of that, I was failing the majority of my classes because I was stressed out. I was on the verge of having to either prolong my undergraduate career another semester or push through and figure it out. That was my lowest performing semester academically. but it was my strongest semester internally. That's where I found my strength. That semester, I believe I won $10,000 in scholarships to help cover the rest of my college education. I finished with like a 3.2 or 3.3 or something like that. But I was destroyed inside. I had really fought a war. But on top of being strong, on top of being able to push my weight, I had to be resilient. I couldn't throw in a towel. I couldn't afford to withdraw from all my classes that semester and just say, I'm done with this. I couldn't afford to stop building my business, though I did fail in many business endeavors that semester. I couldn't afford to throw in the towel with all my other school activities and responsibilities I had on campus. I couldn't afford to not be there for some relatives as we were grieving the loss of my grandmother. I couldn't afford to. I had to be resilient. I had to push through. Quitting wasn't an option. And so here's the last thing, the strength of a mother. This is the third and last characteristic we're going to talk about. Encourage yourself. Number 3, encourage yourself. Encourage yourself. Number 3, encourage yourself. Remember, number 1, the strength of a mother when you're applying for scholarships, strength of a mother. Number 1, be strong. Number 2, be resilient. And number 3, I can get my fingers right, encourage yourself. Encourage yourself. Last week on Sunday, we had the class of 2020 celebration. We celebrated the class of 2020. And I kept saying, celebrate yourself. Develop the capacity, develop the skill set to celebrate yourself, because oftentimes everyone won't see your accomplishments as valuable as you do. They'll say, oh, that's cool. Congratulations. Oh, great work. I'm so proud of you. But they may not know how many things you had to overcome to get to that moment in life. They may not know how many times you spent crying yourself to sleep, or you ate ramen to get to that point in your life, or how many times you cried on someone else's shoulder because you didn't know who to turn to, or how many times you picked up a bottle or did something you weren't supposed to do because you didn't want to show someone how vulnerable and weak you were. They may not understand the magnitude of that accomplishment. That's because, oftentimes you have to get used to not allowing someone else's echo chamber to be a sign of approval for you. Don't wait for someone to tell you job well done to know that you did a great job. Leave it all on the table and celebrate yourself. But along the journey, you're going to have to encourage yourself. So what's the difference between celebrating yourself and encouraging yourself? Well, oftentimes celebration comes after the job is done, after you've completed the task at hand. For me, I celebrated myself after I graduated debt-free from college. That was a 5-year journey that took everything I had and more. 5 years. For 5 years to sit in the rain for an hour because it rained on the day of my graduation. It literally poured down rain. And for me, I look at that and say, hey, I'm glad we had rain, because if I didn't get to cross the stage on that day, that would have been a hard pill to swallow. So the class of 2020, once again, I commend you. I commend your strength. I commend your perseverance. I commend your resilience, because you all are pushing through some tough moments right now. I'm super proud of you. To everyone else who's dealing with the effects of coronavirus right now too, I'm super proud of you as well. Super proud of you. But celebration usually comes after the job is done, after you can check it off your list. Encouragement is required to get to that point where you can celebrate yourself. You have to be able to encourage yourself when you're in the pit, when you hit a valley, when you're in the trenches, when you're trying to push through, because you haven't necessarily hit the peak yet. So you're really, like I tell you all the time, life is a journey. It's full of ups and downs, bumps in the road, ups and downs. You're not going to be at the top all the time, but how you push yourself up from a trench or a valley to get back to the top. Encouragement. So when you're applying for scholarships, if you don't win the scholarship, don't beat yourself up. Why would you beat yourself up if you didn't win a scholarship? There's no point in that, because the number one weapon you're going to need to keep applying for scholarships is you. You need your mind. You need your body. You need your strength. You need yourself in the best condition possible, hopefully not sleep deprived. You don't have time to beat yourself up, because you're damaging your biggest asset, which is you. If you don't win, okay. No means not now. Just because someone told you no, it doesn't mean they told you no forever. No means not now. But the best thing you can do for yourself when you don't win is encourage yourself and say, hey, maybe it's not meant for me. That one wasn't meant for me. I'm just going to keep applying. I'm just going to keep rocking out. I'm going to keep submitting applications. I'm going to keep doing this process because it'll pay off. I'll speak from experience. I received 12 rejection letters in my first 2 weeks of applying for scholarships. 12 people told me no. I didn't know what I was doing anyway, but it hurt to have spent so much time on that essay for all those scholarships, so much time gathering those letters of recommendation, so much time doing XYZ to receive a no. And I'm sitting here saying, what else do you want from me? I've given you everything I had. I'll put it into perspective again. I applied for a scholarship known as the Bill Gates Millennium Scholarship when I was a senior in high school. At the time, that scholarship could pay for everything I needed for college and more. It could pay for all of my undergraduate expenses, and then possibly pay for my master's and my PhD if I studied in a STEM field. That scholarship required 10 essays. 10 essays, a couple of letters of recommendation, and then there was like an applicant information section, some other things. My aunt in Philadelphia, she joined the Instagram Live. I don't know if she's still on, but she helped me apply for that scholarship. She told me about that scholarship, said, hey, you need to apply. And she walked me through the application process, helped me fulfill everything, all the requirements. It was a national scholarship, which meant it was open to every student in the United States. Every single student in the United States. And so I submitted my application, sent it off, thinking that was going to be enough. Oh, she's still on. What's up, Auntie? Thinking that would be enough for me to pay for college, and I didn't win it. And I cried to her. I literally cried. And I said, Auntie, I think I'm done. She said, you got a week to cry your tears and you better get back to work. Auntie, tell me if I tell her the truth, because you did say that. You let me cry for a week and then you told me I had to get back to work. And because she encouraged me, I kept going. She knew how much that meant to me. And oftentimes we talk about that scholarship and how that was the door that opened the way for Doe for Degrees. Because had I won that scholarship, I wouldn't have kept applying. I wouldn't have had to keep applying because I would have had the money I needed to go to college and graduate debt free. But because I didn't win that scholarship, I had to keep applying. And I had to apply for many scholarships over and over and over again. And so for all the scholarship applicants, I encourage you, have the strength of a mother. Be strong, be resilient, and encourage yourself, okay? Be strong, be resilient, and encourage yourself. Much love. Monty said, clap your hands. Much love to all of you. Happy Mother's Day. I'm going to check the comments. As always, feel free to drop any questions or comments you have about scholarships in the chat. My father said all these things, that's what you have to hear to make your life a better life. Focus, mind, strength, determination, trusting in who you are because you are your greatest asset. Exactly. The best investment you'll ever make is an investment in yourself. The best investment you'll ever make is an investment in yourself.
I put a tip in there.
Oh, you put? My sister said, tip to celebrate yourself. Tell yourself that you love you every day. Most definitely. Remind yourself that you're beautiful and that you love yourself. That's a tip from my sister. To celebrate yourself, tell yourself that you love yourself every day. Okay? I'm going to leave y'all with this before we close out. As always, drop any questions you have about scholarships in the chat. I will say this. As you go forward to earn your degree, remember this, your degree doesn't define you. Your degree does not define you. If you earn a Bachelor of Science in Engineering, that doesn't mean that's the only thing you can do with your life. I have a communications degree and I do business. I went to school to study journalism. I'm not a journalist in the traditional sense. I'm a journalist in a different way for scholarships and for my company. Just because I studied one thing in school, that doesn't mean that's the only thing I'm skilled at. It doesn't mean that's the only thing I'm equipped to do. Think about it this way. When you get your degree, whose name is most powerful in that degree? Is it your name or is it the university's name? Whose name holds more weight in the world and society? 9 times out of 10, it's the university's name. Because most people say, oh, you graduated from Duke? Oh, you graduated from Harvard? Oh, wow. That's so prestigious. You graduated from Duke, you must be proud. But what will it take for your name to be more powerful than that university's name? Think about Oprah. Do you know where Oprah graduated from college? Probably not. But if somebody said Oprah's coming to town, I bet your ears perk up. Your degree doesn't define you. And remember, have the strength of a mother as you apply for scholarships. Be strong, be resilient, and encourage yourself. I love y'all. I've enjoyed this chat as always. I will see you this week with new videos. I will see you next Sunday at 3 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time. YouTube, I'm coming back. I've been hustling, been grinding, been doing some stuff behind the scenes. So get ready because I'm coming with a fury. I've been saying it for a minute, but I'm coming with a fury. And let's get it popping, y'all. IG, y'all already know. If you are not following me on Instagram, go ahead and check out my IG. You can follow me at @DJeffers_. I'm more personal on Instagram than I am on YouTube. Posted a picture of my mother today, which is something I probably won't do on YouTube. Oh, appreciate you, Keely. So, I mean, it's different. It's a different vibe on Instagram than it is on YouTube. And I go live with my friends oftentimes on Instagram too. Like we go live sometimes twice a week, 2 to 3 times a week. Kevin and Corey. So, love y'all. I'll see you soon. Have a great Sunday. Tell your mother you love her and tell her thank you too. Special shout out to my mommy. I love you. I miss you. And I can't wait to see you. Mwah. Deuces, y'all.